Hello. In this video I'm going to be covering the Canadian load-bearing vests that replaced the Canadian Pattern 82 webbing. This video will be a little bit longer than usual as I'm going to cover the Canadian Pattern 82 webbing deficiencies and the origins of this design. So there will be clear delineations, and if you would like to fast forward to those sections to see what you're more interested in, go ahead and do that. The information I have on this vest and its development comes from the Queen's University Ergonomics Research Group, which published a paper in 1995. I'll put a link below for this paper, and you can read it if you're interested. The paper was published in 1995, which is after this vest was adopted, so it's a historical look back at how they came to the solutions they did that came to this vest. So the Canadian government went and looked into the deficiencies of the Pattern 82 webbing. All webbing and other load-bearing equipment needs to be the same. It needs to carry at least a fighting order load. Everything needs to be readily accessible, and you also need to be able to perform your activities such as running and crawling and what other activities you would expect to be doing, and readily and easily accessible magazines. So those are the basic requirements for load-bearing equipment. When the Canadian Army looked into the deficiencies, these were what they found. The shoulder straps would get in the way of firing a rifle, so they didn't like those. Another problem with the shoulder straps was that because of the way that they fit with the rucksack or backpack, soldiers would often wear their yoke over top of their backpack, and in order to get back into fighting order, they would have to take their yoke off, take your backpack off, and then put the yoke back on. And a lot of people felt that that was a safety issue. An interesting one was that the web belt is the web belt for narrow-waisted people contained too many items. So you had your two magazine pouches, your utility pouch, bayonet, and your canteen. Even in your fighting order, narrow-waisted people couldn't get the belt small enough so that it wouldn't wobble about on them. And the last thing was that soldiers found these pouches too hard to close in a hurry, and magazine loss was a big issue. So soldiers would put the magazines in, and I do find the Pattern 82 to be a very tight-fitting magazine pouch, but they would put their magazines in, not close them, and lose their magazines. So those were the deficiencies that the Canadian Army found with the Pattern 82 webbing. There were also a couple of deficiencies that were found that weren't to do with wear of the item, but in manufacture of the item. So the grommets in Pattern 82 are well known to come out of the belt. When this grommet comes out, they don't leave any place for the plastic to hook onto, and so you end up with a loose pouch. So if you have more than two, you can end up with a pouch flopping about because there's nothing for the plastic to grip on. And so that brings us to the plastic of these plastic clips. These were an issue because they break off readily in cold weather, and nobody likes that. They're also very hard to put on the belt, but that isn't so much a wear issue as it's just an inconvenience. The breaking of the plastic tabs and the grommets is not an inconvenience, though. So now that we've talked about the deficiencies of the Canadian Pattern 82 webbing, we can talk about the vest. One of the main deficiencies that I didn't talk about earlier was the fact that the magazine pouches are on the front of the hips, and that wasn't liked because when a person is falling to the ground to take up a firing position or for any other reason, they dig into the hips and makes it very uncomfortable. So the soldiers suggested a vest with the magazine pouches high up on the chest would be an optimal solution for them. So the Canadians tried a few things. They tried integrating everything into a flak vest, and I'll put a picture in here for you to see one of the prototypes. And they, in the end, ended up going with a vest because they had enough issues with the prototype flak vest that it wasn't suitable for everybody. So they went with a vest that would go over the flak jacket, and it should fit tightly to the flak jacket. You can see in pictures where it's worn over the shoulders of the flak jacket, and in other pictures you can see the soldiers lifted up the shoulder plates and put it underneath and then refastened down the shoulder plates. And that is how we ended up with this vest. It has everything that the soldiers in Gagetown asked for, and in the end it wasn't liked. So we'll have a look at what the vest itself is made of and how it's worn. So now we'll go over the components of the vest here. Up on the right shoulder we have a pad for some grip for the rifle butt plate, one grenade attachment point. On the right and left chest we have 2 magazine pouches each with a Velcro and snap to make closing them easy and not lose your magazines. There is a loop that I don't know what it's for. Somebody might know. It would be great to know what was supposed to be attached there. Another grenade attachment point. I have seen smoke grenades attached here. Your rank tab in the middle. It has a waist drawband, and then it has 4 pockets, 5 if you include the center one on the back along the circumference at the lower edge. The right side has a hook. Again, this is another item. I don't know what it's used for, but it's there. The bayonet is held upside down. So the blade goes up here, and this is the frog, and that's in the center. We also have a pen pouch on this magazine pouch and a dosimeter pouch on this one. So that is the front of the vest. The vest also comes with instructions. This is a plate carrying pouch, so you put your plate in there and then you unfold it and attach it to the other side and zip it up. So in the back pouch there's another plate carrying pouch, and that should reinforce your flak vest if you have both plates in there. And there is a pouch in the center at the bottom. So in total there's either 4 large pouches around your waist, or 5 if you include the one at the center of the back. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My email will be at the end of this video, and you can leave comments down below if there's anything else you would like to know about this.